right, let's review. What's it called? The Chalk Man by C.J. Tudor. Tudor, I guess that's how you say the last name. I'm gonna tell you the truth. This book was absolute dog shit. First, let's get into what this book is about. So it's about this guy Eddie and a group of friends. Right. One day back in 1986, they draw some type of figure out of chalk, and apparently, this leads to someone's death. Now, this book bounces back between 1986 and 2016, where Eddie now he's a grown up and he's a alcoholic and whatever. And now, all of a sudden, in 2016, they all receive this chalk figure, and little by little, they're all getting picked off and getting killed. So it's all about Eddie trying to figure out what the hell's going on. This book is such a tease. I was expecting like a good horror story. Like it's hard enough to find a good horror story, but when someone pitches you something and it sounds good and then it lets you down, it's even worse. Like it is really really hard to find a good horror book. And this book just teased me with it. And I was like, yes, 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 please. I really want to read a good horror novel. And I go into this open minded and I came out going, yeah, no. This was this reminded me of 80s, early 2000 crappy ass horror movies, like low budget horror movies. All the what you would call scary scenes are dream scenes, like a crappy Nightmare on Elm Street type thing. Um, I didn't feel anything for any of the characters. It was basically told through the perspective of Eddie, who is probably the least likable character you could find in one of these type of books. You usually want your protagonist to be someone that you want to root for. I didn't give a damn. I was hoping he'd be killed off. That's probably the most disappointing thing in this book. He wasn't killed off. I wanted him dead. If they would have killed him off, I'd probably give this book an extra star. This book is atrocious. And it is a grind to get through. That's, to me, is one thing that I can never forgive. If your book is going to be bad, can you please just make it a shorter book? Because it's one thing to be a bad book, but to be a bad long book, it's even worse. Just cut out some of this shit. Like there was chapters you could have easily cut out of this book, and it would have made no damn difference to the end. It was just like, hey, let's add a scene where they're talking about games they used to play when they were young. Who gives a fuck? Like there were certain things like that you could have cut out, made this book shorter, and it it was one of the worst books I've read. There's a little twist at the end, if you really want to call it a twist. I didn't think there was. Um, I know some people I've heard from try to defend this book say, oh, well, the twist at the end kind of redeems it. I'm like, no, it really doesn't. If anything, it kind of makes it even worse for me because you try to be all smart and intellectual about it by adding this little twist, and no, sometimes you don't need a twist in the end. Sometimes you just got to plow through. Give me a monster if there's a monster. Give me a killer if there's a killer. Don't have to be all cutesy about it. Don't have a crazy twist at the end to save your book. Just give me what you promised me, and you didn't deliver there. So for me, this is 1 star, absolute dog shit. It was real close to being DNF'd. It takes a lot for me to DNF a book, and this is proof right here because this book was on the cusp of being DNF'd. I barely made it through. And when I mean barely, I mean barely. I felt at some points that I was being held hostage to finish reading this book. It takes a lot for me to DNF a book. So the fact that this survived, the most I can give it is 1 star. It is absolute rank dog shit.